Hey everyone, so we did a thing here at Morales Method and we used Chat GPT to ask a question, and this is a question that actually gets asked a lot of us at the Morales Method, and I thought it would be interesting to ask Chat GPT what they came up with, what it comes up with if we ask the question. And here's the question. What's the difference between structural integration and deep tissue massage? And like I said, this is a question we get asked a lot. So we thought we'd ask the collective internet consciousness what it thinks. And I'll put it up here on the screen, but just super quick, and I'm going to skim some of this because it's kind of long. But it's an interesting kind of exercise to go through. And just so you know, I am by no means downplaying or discounting or dissing any type of AI, any type of chatbot, because I think personally it is the future. It's where we're going. It's going to affect us all, even massage therapists and body workers, especially as how we're educated. So anyway, without any further ado, one of the main points, number one, it says focus on different tissues, and it said one of the most significant differences between SI and deep tissue massage is the tissue they focus on. Structural integration primarily targets the connective tissue, which includes fascia, ligaments, and tendons, and then it says connective tissue surrounds and supports muscle, bones, organs, and then it says deep tissue, and I'm skimming here. Deep tissue massage, on the other hand, focuses on the muscles themselves. This technique worked by applying firm pressure to the deep layers of muscle tissue to release chronic tension and promote relaxation. And so this is basically what it's grabbing from the internet and saying that SI focuses on fascia, when actually, unfortunately, that is an outdated thought. Not only does it not make sense critically when we think about what we're actually working and touching, but it is actually outdated. Meaning, and I've written so many articles about this and have talked to so many people about this, but structural integration does not focus primarily on fascia. It's not possible to just focus on one tissue when we're actually working on all of the tissue. So, SI and deep tissue can affect all the tissue that the body worker is in contact with. Skin, adipose tissue, fascia, muscle, nerve, blood, bone, all of this gets affected when we're working either in an SI perspective or when we're doing deep tissue. So no points for Chat GPT there. The next point it makes is as different techniques used, and it says although another difference between SI and deep tissue massage is the techniques used. SI involves a series of sessions that progressively work on different areas of the body, and this is where it is right, but it's actually wrong. Yes, SI involves a series of sessions, but a series of sessions is not actually a technique. So it's just a way of working. And then it says the practitioner uses hands-on techniques to manipulate the connective tissue, often with slow, deep pressure stretching and movement re-education. And actually, wherever it got that, whatever website it got that from, is pretty much spot on. Then it says deep tissue massage, on the other hand, uses various techniques to manipulate the muscle tissue, including kneading, friction, and trigger point therapy. So trigger point therapy is actually a separate technique. Can it be used within the context of deep tissue massage? I think so, but it can also be used within the context of structural integration, because structural integration isn't actually a technique or set of techniques. It's more of a philosophy, and it can then encompass and use other different techniques. The other thing there is that deep tissue, it says that deep tissue massage, on the other hand, uses various techniques to manipulate the muscle tissue. Well, again, it can actually work all the tissue that it works on, and it doesn't necessarily manipulate things. We're not manipulating. That word, I think, is kind of reserved for chiropractors, not us. Number 3. Different goals. The goals of SI and deep tissue also differ. SI aims to improve overall physical function by releasing tension and adhesions in connective tissue. Here we go again. It wants to really push that fascia down your throat, improving posture and enhancing movement efficiency. I think that's correct. This technique is often used to address chronic pain, injuries, and postural imbalances. I'm not sure why it brings up technique there, but the SI does have primary goals of improving posture, relieving chronic patterns of pain, and improving body awareness. Deep tissue massage, on the other hand, it says, aims to alleviate pain and tension in specific muscles and joints. And again, it's trying to kind of separate the two camps in saying one is muscle-centric, one is fascia-centric, when actually it's just all tissue-centric. Or I should say it's all tissue specific. Then it goes on, number 4, the duration of SI sessions is longer than deep tissue massage sessions. Never knew that. I've been doing SI since 2008 and deep tissue since 2004 and 5, and never knew this piece. A typical SI session can last up to 90 minutes. While a deep tissue massage session is usually 60 and 90 minutes. And never heard that before. SI session could be 60 minutes, could be 90 minutes, could be 45 minutes, depending on what happens. So interesting. I'm curious where it pulled that from. And then number 5, it says different levels of discomfort. And so here we go with this one. Both SI and deep tissue massage can be uncomfortable at times, but the level of discomfort differs between the two techniques. They're not techniques. SI sessions can be more uncomfortable since the practitioner is working on the connective tissue, which can be more sensitive. The connective tissue, by the way, they're talking about fascia. The connective tissue is made up of proteins and collagen fibers, and collagen fibers don't have necessarily pain receptors. There may be nociceptors and pain receptors within the matrix of collagen fibers, but connective tissue is not sensitive. The nerve cells around it could be, but the connective tissue itself is not. Deep tissue massage can also be uncomfortable, but the practitioner can adjust the pressure to make it more tolerable for the client. That can happen also with SI. So the SI practitioner can make a session more tolerable for the client. It doesn't necessarily have to be painful. Then it says, in conclusion, it starts to sum up all of these pieces that I just mentioned. And so again, what I want to say here with this exercise is not that Chat GPT is dumb and it's worthless, but I want to really kind of express that we are really in the beginnings of how these AI bots are going to reshape our education and also reshape how clients and future SI practitioners, current body workers, may understand what SI is compared to a style such as deep tissue massage. I do both, I practice both, I teach both. And so for me, I understand the big difference between both. So my hope is that as we continue to create videos such as these and create articles and blog posts out there that push a kind of more realistic understanding of what SI is, that the Chat GPT will then eventually pick up on this and will have a better response when we have this type of query happening with, between SI, what is SI and what is deep tissue and what is the difference between both. So anyway, thank you guys. Oh, by the way, this question was asked in the month of May 2023. I'm putting that out there as sort of a little bit of a timestamp because I'm very curious to see what will happen 2 years from now, a year from now, as Chat GPT and other AI chatbots start to pick up on information that's out there. All right, folks, thanks again for watching. I appreciate it, and talk to you soon.